Hi everybody, welcome back to Barbara's Den. I just got this notification drop down about Fox News viewership collapsing. So I clicked on it to see why it collapsed. And it said this happened during the live coverage of John Lewis' funeral. According to CNN, Brian Stella points out that Fox News went from 1.9 million viewers in the 9 a.m. Eastern hour, because I'm in the Eastern hours, to 825,000 at the 11 a.m. Eastern. At 11 a.m. Eastern, okay. To 540,000 viewers at the 1 p.m. during the cable news network. Now, why do you think this happened? This is what I think. Because I'm in the Eastern hour. And this is on the cable networks. As I'm scrolling around to find something to watch, I will see it live on the different networks. And what I would do is keep scrolling. I will hear a little bit. When I scroll by, I will hear it, and I will keep scrolling. And I'm gonna give you the reason why I didn't care to watch it. Because first of all, these men, like John Lewis, they came out of the Martin Luther King, the Malcolm X civil rights movement. And at the end, when provisions was put in place and the black Americans that came through Jim Crow, they was given this. So they went home, everything settled down. But what actually happened? They introduced the black immigrants in. The black immigrants came in and got the so-called, for lack of a better word, the reparations that was given to black Americans that came through Jim Crow. They sitting back waiting on these provisions. What were they given? Food stamps, welfare checks. I know, because back in the 70s, when I was in elementary school and middle school, we were offered food stamps, welfare. My mama said she would never take a lick of welfare ever in her life, but she did took the food stamps. Cause mom and daddy always worked. So when daddy had surgery on it, when daddy something happened with daddy's eyes, he needed an eye transplant. Daddy went to Charleston, had his eye transplant. Mama got on that was the first time Mama got on welfare. As soon as daddy was home, bam, boom, she was offered. So, as they give black Americans that came through Jim Crow welfare, food stamps, whatever, black immigrants that did not come through that, they came and got the monies, I would say the loans, the whatever was given to them. Those that came through Jim Crow was sabotage. I know, cause my mom and daddy came through. Cause my mom just died a month and a half ago. My sister just buried my sister Friday gone. My dad died 2016. So they came through Jim Crow. Being a child that don't remember the going ons of Jim Crow, because mama and daddy did not burden our brains with that, but want us to have a better life. Thing is, I remember what we got, and I'm gonna tell you what I specifically remember. Mexicans, Hispanics, Haitians, whatever, all immigrants came through. As far as my memory goes, and it's very clear, in the 70s, early 70s, these people came in to the fields, worked the fields where we were already working. So we were, like they're doing Nene Lease now, we were pushed out by those Hispanics that came in, the Haitians that came in. We weren't told to get out by your fire, but they just brought them in and allowed them to push us out, which is exactly what they're doing to Nene, which is what they're allowing Candy to do to Nene. And while Candy tries to control the other ladies to do to Nene. So I suggest these ladies not allow that to happen, because this is what is going on in Real Housewives of Atlanta. But anyway, with all that said, people like him, they all got in place. And as the Jim Crow babies, which I'm wondering, I'll call myself the Jim Crow babies because I was a baby, grew up through that time, even though I don't know the atrocities of Jim Crow like my mom and daddy do. That they did not burden our mental state to even know, imagine, or whatever. I came through that era, and what did we get? Nothing. We try to open businesses, we try to get good jobs. Not. I have my own business. I couldn't get none of that money that was there. They say, well, black people they don't take the opportunities that are there for them. I don't know where to get that lie from, but it's straight up lies. I came through, I try to do all of that. I know it's there. I know the opportunity is there because it said it's there. People talking about it. People are getting it. But as I'm going forward trying to get it, I couldn't have it. And my sister, we just buried Friday. Same with her. Same with her. We did everything that these black immigrants came over here and did to get ahead and be where they are now. Like, I guess Mona Scott with the Love and Hip Hop. Everything she do to get where she is. It's not that we did. There were many of us that tried hard to get there. We couldn't get there. It's like I said. Like I said with my sister. It was like a Mack truck. Every time we get there, we on that path going boom, Mack truck. We hit a Mack truck. We can't get there. And it's mostly because of the path. I guess we choose the wrong path in life. It's not the path when we come to earth. We say this is what we're going to do. And then when we come, we veer off that path and go down a path that's not meant for us. When we come here, we just don't know. We just have to try to remember. The angels are there to help us remember, but we have to be able to see. We got to be on that frequency. Which I'm on the frequency now, but back then I didn't know. So when I get up, if I try to do this now, my Florence Benedict come about, so that wasn't a hard path. But now I'm on another path and see if these things that are here in place that says that we, as black Americans that came through Jim Crow, can benefit from what this man fought for to put in place for us. That as black Americans that came through Jim Crow was sabotaged and was directed down a whole nother path of drugs, imprisonment, all of these laws. That's the path they was given this, but they was like a Mack truck come in place, stopped them from getting what was that this man helped put in place, and they was directed over here where a lot of black Americans are, and are told to suffer from all kind of brain PTSD from, from what the families went through during that Jim Crow days and civil rights days and all of that. So, with all that said, that is my perspective as to why this man did not get the viewership that is there. Because he's a symbol of what he fought for black Americans that came through Jim Crow, that came through the Civil Rights Act, and all of that with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It went forward for black immigrants. It went forward for the Hispanics. All of those came in at that time. I remember that yesterday because I remember things way back, which a lot of us do. It was given to every immigrant. And now immigrants have, over the years, while we are here, while black Americans who came through Jim Crow, fighting, going through to get what they need. They said, this is what you need to do. We're doing it. And it never comes to fruition. Now I understand why. They say, you do it this way, because as soon as we learn it, and we go to do it to come to fruition, they move the finish line. And we're there, and it never comes to fruition. We try to figure out why. What I did what they said. Then, when we don't see the finish line, then we get stuck. We are like, okay, it's not working. Why is it not working? Well, they change. You got to do this. You got to do that. This is what I've been hearing for a long time. So, from my perspective, that is why this man did not get the viewership. You went from 1.9 million viewers by 9 o'clock. And by the time it was 11 o'clock, about 300,000 people stopped watching. And then by 1 o'clock, that's a long time to be watching a funeral anyway, because people get tired. 1 o'clock, another almost 300,000 stopped watching. So you lost 600,000 people on the East Coast, where I am, from watching. And like I said, a lot of this stuff went down on the East Coast, went down in South Carolina, went down in Georgia, went down in Louisiana, Mississippi, whatever. But it went down in South Carolina. The thing about it is we're waking up. We are seeing that everything that this man fought for, all of it went to black immigrants, black African American immigrants, like Obama, DACA, which is all these Hispanics, Latinos, Nigerians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, whoever else over here. Came over here after the Civil Rights Act. The door was open for them to come over and eat the fruitage of our labor. And they are doing well. And now they're at a place now where they're trying to say, okay, we're going to give black Americans, we're going to give black people nothing, but we're going to give black people reparations. Then we're going to give them all this and that. Okay, this is what we're going to give y'all. But if you watch, it's actually, they're talking about giving this to black people. ADOS is trying to push his reparation. But I'm already living in the future with that. All of that is being, just like it was the civil rights back in the, I think 65, whenever that happened. When black people fought and got what they, and they got it, and then they diverted them to this imprisonment, slave, felony, drug, all guns, all kind of thing, while it continued to flow through all these immigrants. And now today, these doctors, Obama gave them a name called DACA, and now DACA is getting everything, and we're fighting and getting nothing. But they'll see in this election. This right here is an indicator of how many people is going to come out and vote Democrat. Because this is an indicator that black people is not going to come out, and well, because Biden is a part of all of this. Why would we vote for this? More of this. So what is going to be in place now at the end of this? Just watch and see what legislation they put in place specifically for black people. And while they happy they getting it, all over it's flowing fully to DACA, fully to black immigrants, to, like Obama said, we immigrants, to all the immigrants that came in after the civil rights thing, I think in 68, whenever they passed it or whatever. Everybody that come in after that, the floodgates are being opened up for them, and they are getting everything, while those black Americans that came through Jim Crow, they all sits back, either thinking they're getting it or not stupid and know they're not getting it, and just decide, well, we gonna get what we gonna get. While Trump is in office, because when the Democrats are in office, ADOS ain't getting nothing. Black Americans, African American, black American that came through, that were born through Jim Crow, they ain't getting squat. So your better thing about now is, like my son is saying, invest in black businesses. Start your own business. Have your own business. Because this stuff here that you fighting for in legislation is not going to happen. Because basically, we don't need the government to take care of us. The government just there getting money. They're not taking care of it. They're not taking care of ADOS. They're not taking care of black Americans born through Jim Crow. They're not helping them. Because they're taking away all the food stamps and the welfares and giving. Well, they took food stamps and welfare away from black people back in the 70s. I saw it back then. I mentioned and talked about it. People look at me like I'm crazy. How can you know stuff and not? Anyway, I wasn't slow back then and I'm not slow now. But now people are waking up and seeing it for what it is. Because it is what it is. But anyway, this is my perspective on why Fox News viewership and Fox News viewership dropped. I can just imagine what the rest of them, CBS, NBC, CNN, all of them who actually show it, they probably had no viewership. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you like the content, put a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, because I'm on my way to that 1,000. And I will see you next time. Bye.